Okay, here's a quick video on the GVIF interface hookup with the Android Media Box. This, of course, is the GVIF multimedia interface. These are the connections that go in the back of the Maps navigation unit, or you can install it up at the head unit if you want, but you do have to swap these purple and brown wires if you install it at the head unit. That's where I had it. Just for now. You've got the pile of cords coming out of the interface. This works for different vehicles. For our Jaguar, this is the connection to the rear camera. That's what you would use that for. These, of course, are the positive, negative. This is what powers it. This is for the remote, which allows you to adjust your screen. And this is for the modes, the button that switches back. All those come out together in one place here, and all the rest of these, and I will do this, can be cut. They're unnecessary, they just take up space. So they don't apply to our cars. On the other side here you have all of the audiovisual and cables that come both in and out. So inboard, I'm going to go a little backwards here to audiovisual 1. I go to this device, which costs about $5. That's HDMI input to analog video output. That HDMI goes and connects to my audio box, my Android box, and this particular one I'm using is a Chinese brand Zidu H96, I believe is the number on it. It runs on Android 7. The box has the HDMI output that is right here on the box. There's an Ethernet port, of course we don't care about. This is the power. It is plug-in power, so there's no switch to have to worry about. And this is charged by 5 volts, so I just use a lighter port and have it plugged in the glove box. So that's what I'm using. Now there's no, on this particular model, there is no sound input, excuse me. So I bought a sound cable. This allows me to give input through the world's cheapest microphone I could find, just to test this. I was going to originally wire the microphone up to the car's mic for the cell phone. However, I noticed that the wiring on the cell phone the wiring on the microphone for phone use, for the Bluetooth phone use, is shielded, so I didn't want to mess with it. I don't know how it would react. It's connected directly to the integrated audio module, and I just don't want to mess with it. For sound, I have the ACM device connected to my car, and I just used the Bluetooth Tune to Air, which works just fine. On the back of the head unit, so this is the head unit out of the car, and it is a little upside down and sideways, and I will take this apart here, but I have the device connected here and here into this chip input. This is the switcher, actually, and it is powered by positive, negative. Obviously I have it into connected to the ignition, and you can trigger both either the positive or the negative to trigger the switching from using the touchscreen for OEM or using the touchscreen for Android. And there's a little port on this cell out here that has a gray, yellow, and white wire, and if that yellow wire is connected to the positive terminal here, every time you switch modes and go back to the OEM mode, you are actually cutting power to this board, so you don't have to do anything with a negative wire. Negative wire is the option where you just have to ground it to trigger the difference, and I didn't figure out a way to switch that, so that's what we have. Comes out of the switcher into the Universal Touch Controller. So the Universal Touch Controller has just a simple USB mini, not micro, USB mini, sorry. And that connects right in there. And then the other end is a USB port that just plugs into, I'm using the USB 3.0 port on my box, but it doesn't matter. So all the setup for the box, what you're seeing on the screen is a launcher. The launcher is just simply what you have on your screen for your phone, for example. You download them off Google Play. I think that one costs $3, the one I'm using. And the next video I'll do will be looking at the box while it's apart.